Good morning, everyone. Today I thought I'd just do a quick check-in because I'm about to start my 6th round of chemo, which is my last one. And it's been an interesting journey, and I've learned a lot of things about my body and my emotions through the whole process. But what I wanted to talk to you today about was one of my biggest challenges was constipation during the chemo. That doesn't happen for everybody. So your first chemo, you really need to just see how your body's going to react. And so I didn't have anything to prepare me for the first one. They give you a tablet. I have breast cancer, and the chemo that I'm having, they give me quite a large capsule to have an hour before my chemo. And that capsule helps you for a few days with the nausea, which you really need. The first few days, the nausea is well and truly under control. The fatigue and the muscles and other things are a bit of a challenge, but the nausea is pretty good, and it's that tablet. But what that tablet does, it slows down your metabolism. I think that's how it works. And so then it can cause constipation, or it can also cause diarrhea. So your first chemo, you need to work out what your body's going to do. My body, I suffered from constipation during my first round. And so my second round, I got some help and, Googled and did all those things. So I'm just going to share with you what I did, because now I can manage that. I know I'm about to start my next round, and I know what to expect, and I know how my body will react. So one of the main things for the constipation, I have Movicol. There is another brand of that actual thing. I can't remember what it was, because the lady doing my chemo the other day said, if you're sick of that flavour, you can get one that is not flavoured, and she said another brand. But I have 2 Movicols the day before I start my chemo, and then for about 8 days I'm having 2 a day, and it helps me through. You get sick of the flavour. This is the lime one, and there's chocolate one, but I don't like chocolate, so that wouldn't help me. But I just put some cordial in my Movicol and keep it in the fridge. I don't drink it all at once. I just sip it throughout the day, but I make sure that in that day I've gotten 2 in. And then for the rest of my chemo, I only need to have 1 a day. That's how my body copes with it. I also keep up my fibre, and one of the best things that I've found for that is I make a chia pudding, and I make it by using, sometimes I will base it on berries, frozen berries, or sometimes a really ripe banana. I did one with a banana that was a little bit green, not green, but it was a banana that I'd like to eat. This is really too ripe for me to just eat like this. And it didn't help as much, but the ripe banana is what I need. So I can either mash my banana just into a bowl, or I get the frozen berries and I actually boil them on the stove with a little bit of water. A lot of water comes out of those frozen berries, and then I use porridge, oats, so any type of oats. I use this brand because I actually like the beetrooty, earthy flavour. But you make your oats so that it's about as thick as a cake mixture when you're making a cake. So I just put these in with my berries, or if I'm doing the banana one, I just put a little bit of water with them, or you can use, I don't have dairy, so a little bit of milk, and I just cook them on the stove. On here, they actually give you a microwave, how to cook them on the microwave, but I just do it on the stove. It's really quick. So I do that, then I put my porridge in a container, either with my banana, which I've already mashed, or just with the berries already in it. And then I put at least 4 to 5 teaspoons of chia seeds in that mixture. and I put it in the fridge. And it gets nice and cold and it sets, and the chia gets sort of like little jelly circles around the chia seeds, so they're not crunchy. I have chia seeds on my salad and everything. I have lots of chia seeds, but they get nice and sort of soft and a little bit easier to digest or have in your mouth. Then I will use, I just use a container about this big, and I would use probably a quarter, maybe a third, depending how I'm feeling in the morning. I scrape that out, put it in my bowl, and then I add, now I'm very lucky because my family actually do this brand, but I put in, this has been wonderful, a keto muesli, and I'll just show you, it's just really, I don't know where the camera is. It's got coconut and nuts and pumpkin seeds and flax seeds, but it is all nutty and really, really fibrous. So I put that into the chia pudding, and it gives it some really nice texture, but it's also really good for fibre. The other one, this one, I've only used this one this round, and it's been wonderful, and it's a prebiotic granola. Oh, it's really delicious. It is made, it's got some of the things there. It's got pistachios, I think. Pistachios and oh, hang on, I'll find the camera again. There you go. You can see all those beautiful nuts and seeds in there. And both of those have been delicious and helped with lots and lots of fibre to get through. The other thing is I'm not a sweet tooth usually, but the chemo has made me like sweet things. So I sometimes I'll put a little bit of maple syrup on it. Usually I don't have to, but there's a window of a few days where my taste buds are really bad, and so I put a little bit of maple syrup on top of that, and that's helped me have enough fibre to have not really hard stools. The other thing, and this sounds really weird and I feel funny sharing it, but I'm going to because it has been a saviour for me. During those first few days, that tablet makes you think that you don't need to go to do a poo. Okay, so you can just let that happen, but while your stool is sitting in there, it is getting harder. So it becomes sort of like a plug. So during those first few days when I don't feel like I need to go to the toilet, I go and sit on the toilet and I do some long, slow blowing. Now, my daughter told me about this because an OT that she follows has suggested this for children, and you just do really long, slow blowing. So it's sort of like when you're teaching kids to swim. I use those party poppers and get them to blow to hold out the party popper. So it's a nice slow breath, like ladies when you're during your labour. So a nice long breath, like. Now, if you do that, you can feel your abdominal muscles switching on without anything else switching on that is going to be straining. So every time I sit on the toilet, in those first probably 3 or 4 days, I do 10 long slowing breaths. It's annoying because 10 of those long slow breaths takes quite a bit of time, but it helps to move the stool down while it's still soft, and I have had no terrible constipation or discomfort during that time since I started doing that. So I hope that helps you. It's a little bit embarrassing for me, but I would hate for people to have to go through that, just straining, and it's something that we don't usually talk about, but that has really helped me. Don't forget, you might not get constipated. You might get diarrhea, and the doctor, the nurses said for me to have gastro stop on hand. One time during my first chemo, because I got really badly constipated, I had too much of this. I was having 3 a day and I ended up giving myself diarrhea. So I did use the gastro stop then. And but I was really going between the two. I was having lots of this and lots of gastro stop, and I just felt, really confused. The next one, I just went, okay, I'm just going to manage with this and with good fiber, because I tended to want to just eat carbs, like salada biscuits and Promite was my thing that my brain wanted me to have and my mouth wanted me to have, and or Smith's chips. I had those. I tried to reduce the amount that I had those, and I tried to eat lots of fruit. So my body liked watermelon, pawpaw, pineapple. Pineapple really helped my mouth. And that sounds funny because sometimes it can make people's mouths sore, but it really helped get rid of the yucky taste in my mouth. So it sort of exfoliated my mouth, got rid of those dead cells. Nectarines and mangoes. And I liked them really cold. If I bought them at the shop, my mouth didn't like them, but I'd have to put them in the fridge overnight and then I was fine. The other thing that I wanted to share with you, because again, I'm really lucky. My son has a broth company. He makes broth and it's delicious broth. I've been a broth drinker for years, but I have had no mouth ulcers and no reflux. And I really think that it's because I have a teacup of broth every morning. To begin with, when I started drinking broth, I didn't have it full strength, so I would have half broth, half water, because it can be a bit strong, the flavour. And the chicken broth is a little bit easier for you it's not quite as strong as the beef broth or the lamb broth. Now I can have any of them. Sometimes I might be nearly finished my chicken, so I'll put a bit of chicken and a bit of lamb in together, or a bit of chicken and a bit of beef, and I just have it straight now. But I also put in a squeeze of lemon. 1 lemon would probably do 4 days, so a quarter of a lemon squeezed into my broth. I'm making it, John makes it actually, so my husband makes it, so that's for 2 people, a quarter of a lemon, and we both have a cup of broth. He actually has a bigger cup than me, and some salt in the broth. And the broth that we use, because my son actually makes it, it always has a big black lid. Any of them with big black lids is good. They're a bit hard to open, so you have to give it a tap on the bench, run it under the hot water to get them open. But this is the Cherry Tree Kitchen one, and they also do Byron Bay bone broth. They're the 2 that I like, and I also have access to those. I'm very, very lucky, but I can guarantee that those things have helped me. I hope that's helpful for you. I hope that if you're looking at this and you're starting your chemo journey, don't be scared of it. It is manageable. It's not nice, but there's lots of things in life that are not nice. Lots of things in life that we wouldn't choose. And I wouldn't choose chemo if it wasn't going to save my life, so I can have time with the people that I love. So, it's tough, but so are you. So manage your way, be creative and try new things. One of the main things that I think helped me through was distraction, to distract yourself. So I started doing some art, and art was the least of my talents. I couldn't draw a straight line, but I did get on YouTube. YouTube's wonderful. Lots of things on YouTube that are fun to do. Pilates on YouTube I followed because I couldn't get to a Pilates class in town. So Pilates helped me, and doing something that was challenging. I play the piano and sing, so I've sung my way through my chemo as well. But find things that you love to do and try and think of 3 things every day that you're grateful for, because I think you get a new perspective on life when you just lose a few things and it's okay. You still feel the same inside. You still love the same and people still love you the same. So don't be frightened of it. Embrace it. I think of it as my cocoon stage, and now my butterfly is starting to emerge because it has made me more aware of who I am, more aware of the people around me, and just more aware of the beauty around me as well. And I feel really blessed to have had this learning experience, and I just wanted to share that with you. So good luck. And if you're caring for somebody with chemo, just listen to them, because a lot of the things that they used to like or they used to do, that might change for them. And I'm not a sweet tooth at all. I don't like lollies, chocolate. I might have 2 little squares of chocolate and that's enough. And yet for my taste buds, the only flavour that I can actually register at the moment is sweet. So the other foods that I would normally like, I'm a real chipaholic. I love chips. I don't like them so much now. You know, those lovely flavoured chips, they don't taste like they used to for me. They taste totally foreign. Some foods that I really love taste like dishwashing liquid for me. So just listen. If they send you to the shop to try something, just buy one of them, because my husband would bring home, 5 things, so that, because we live out of town, so he'd bring home 5 and I go, oh sorry, that didn't work. And so we'd be stuck with these extra things, and that was, I found it really hard because I didn't want to waste stuff. But so just try things and let them try things, or help support them to try things, but don't get upset if they don't like your cooking. It's not your cooking, it's the taste buds. Anyway, good luck to everybody who's starting their chemo journey and those who are walking the road with them. You are their light, and it'll be tough for you too. I think it may even be tougher for you than them, because I have walked the journey on that path, and now I'm doing it myself. And I'd like to let you know that it's not as bad as I expected it to be. So it is challenging. I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody who has a hard time through it. It's tough, but it's also manageable, and there's also so many opportunities for you to grow through it, and you will. That has to happen. You will definitely change. Anyway, thank you everybody. I hope that helps, and good luck. God bless.